Hello and welcome to our presentation of PTTA, Purifying Malicious Samples for Test-Time Model Adaptation. In this paper, we explore a new direction for model self-evolution. We purify malicious test samples into benign ones, using them for self-supervised optimization. This enables stable and efficient test-time adaptation. Imagine a scenario where we need to make online predictions for test samples in an environment. We generally select a suitable model and pre-trained weights from open-source model libraries. Self-supervised model adaptation using test samples is beneficial for improving prediction accuracy. However, not all test samples help with model adaptation. Due to data distribution shifts, selecting benign samples and discarding malicious ones often leads to smoother model optimization and more stable updates. Yet, this strategy doesn't always work. Our observations show that high-entropy malicious samples are harder to predict correctly than low-entropy ones. Learning from high-entropy samples undermines optimization stability. More importantly, perfectly filtering out malicious samples is challenging. This results in sharp performance fluctuations for PTTA with even slight adjustments to the sample selection threshold. Sample selection is a simple solution, but it wastes our limited test samples. Therefore, the key question becomes, rather than selecting and discarding malicious samples, why not purify them into benign ones? So we propose the PTTA. It fuses benign and malicious data to create purified samples for test-time model adaptation. This preserves information from malicious samples while reducing their harm. Motivated by adversarial purification, we propose an indicator to encode benign and malicious samples, suitable for test sample retrieval. The logit saliency indicator uses the entropy minimization objective. It takes the derivative of the model's output logits WRT this objective as saliency information. This indicator captures the change in output logits before and after model optimization, encoding the test sample's direct impact on the model's final decision. Mathematically, we show it simplifies to EQ.4. Importantly, this simplification avoids extra gradient backpropagation, significantly speeding up the PTTA algorithm. At test time, we store benign samples selected by arbitrary selection criterion in a memory bank. Using the saliency indicator, we retrieve the benign sample from the memory bank with the maximum distance to the malicious sample. The retrieved sample pair exhibits the most significant difference in impact on the entropy minimization objective. We simply use mixup to combine benign and malicious samples, creating purified samples and their pseudo-labels. The cross-entropy between the predictions of purified samples and their pseudo-labels forms the purification loss. This loss is added to other PTTA methods during model optimization. Our experiments show that directly applying mixup to test samples doesn't improve PTTA performance. Retrieving benign samples significantly boosts out PTTA performance. We ran extensive experiments to validate PTTA's effectiveness and robustness. These covered PTTA tasks in episodic, single, continual, and lifelong settings, including image classification, semantic segmentation, and adversarial defense. It's worth noting that lifelong PTTA remains highly challenging, even for recent state-of-the-art PTTA methods. PTTA serves as a plug-and-play solution. It seamlessly integrates with existing PTTA methods, significantly boosting their performance and robustness in dynamic environments. PTTA's success relies on an effective logit saliency indicator. Analysis shows a strong indicator should ensure benign distance, benign malicious distance, malicious distance. The visualization below demonstrates why the logit saliency indicator works. With a strong logit saliency indicator, PTTA can retrieve suitable sample pairs to synthesize purified samples, even without sample selection to distinguish benign and malicious samples. This works thanks to PTTA's low sensitivity to selection thresholds. PTTA is also highly efficient, adding only 10% to 40% runtime overhead compared to the original PTTA methods, with minimal storage cost for the memory bank. Alright, that brings us to the end of our presentation. We have plenty more interesting results and analyses in the paper. Please do check it out if you're interested. We've also released code for experiments, so feel free to use it. Thank you very much.